What if you could brainwash yourself for success despite everything you've already tried? Despite the therapy, despite the journaling, the affirmations, the years of trying to think your way into a different reality? What if none of it failed because of you? What if it never went deep enough? What if the reason those things didn't finish their job wasn't a you problem? What if it was simply a location problem? I was doing everything that this healing culture tells you to do when you want to change your life. And it's the same mistake I see in almost every single person who comes to me after years of doing the work and still feels like something invisible is standing in their way. It's the belief that if you understand something deeply enough, if you can name it, explain it, trace it back to where it came from, you have healed it. That right there is the most dangerous mindset I see as a hypnotherapist. The belief that the mind that created the problem is the same one that can think its way out of the problem. I see this all the time, and I understand why, because we're in a culture that worships this analytical mind. And this equates self-awareness with self-healing, and it's not the same thing. And that distinction, that quiet, almost invisible distinction, is everything. Let me paint you a picture. You've done the work, you know your attachment style, you can tell me exactly which childhood experiences shaped your relationship with money, with love, with your own worthiness. You know about limiting beliefs, but then life happens. Someone you love pulls away very slightly and your whole nervous system goes into panic, and a part of your brain is watching that happen. And it knows exactly why you are doing this. It knows it's your anxious attachment. This is the 7-year-old in me who learned that love was inconsistent. You have this full awareness of this pattern while it is happening to you in real time. But the awareness does not stop it. Or you sit down to visualize the life you desire, the relationship, the financial freedom, the version of yourself who moves through the world with ease. You can see it. You want it genuinely. But then underneath this wanting is this feeling, this low hum, this knowing that it probably won't happen, that wanting this much is dangerous somehow, that people like you don't get that. And you journal about it, you trace it back, you understand where it comes from, and then the next day you come to sit down and visualize again, but the hum is still there. Yeah, but people like me don't get to have that. Wanting this much is setting myself up to be disappointed. Who am I to think that I deserve that kind of life? That voice is not a mindset problem. It is not something you can journal away. That voice is coming from somewhere your conscious mind cannot reach. It is not evidence that you need to work harder or want it more or find a better affirmation. This is evidence that the work needs to go somewhere your conscious mind cannot reach. Think about it like this. Your subconscious is the root system of a tree. Everything visible, your thoughts, your behaviors, your results, what you're trying to receive in your life, that's the tree above ground. The trunk, the branches, the leaves, and you can spend your entire life polishing the leaves, rearranging the branches, painting the trunk a different color, and it will look different. It might even feel different for a while, but the root system is still running the same program as it always has. And when you change something at the root level, when you actually go into the subconscious and update the original file, the whole tree changes. Not because you forced it, because it can't not. Here's what hypnotherapy actually is. It's a state of focused awareness. It's a state your brain naturally moves through twice every single day, right as you're falling asleep and right as you're waking up, where the conscious mind becomes quiet enough that we can work directly with the subconscious. In that state, you are completely aware. You are not asleep. You are not under anyone's control. You are actually more present than usual. And in this relaxed space, we can go to that place where the belief actually lives and give that part of you, the 7-year-old, the teenager, whoever is still holding this, a new experience, a felt experience at the level it was formed. I want to tell you about someone I worked with, and I won't share her name, but she came to me completely defeated. She had done everything, years of therapy, mountains of self-help books, every single course that you can think of. She articulated her limiting beliefs very clearly, better than most people I've ever met. She knew exactly where they came from. She had done genuine healing work. And still, the relationship she wanted wasn't coming. The financial ease she was trying to manifest felt like a cruel joke in her life. Every time things started to go well, something would happen, or she would do something that pulled it back. She described it as feeling like there was this invisible ceiling, and no matter how much she grew internally, no matter how much she understood herself, what we found in her subconscious while working together was not what she expected. It wasn't this big thing, it was this quiet thing. A moment in childhood where she had wanted something deeply and been made to feel that wanting itself was shameful, too much, greedy, unsafe. And her subconscious had filed that away as law, as truth. After we worked through it, after her subconscious finally released that belief, she told me something I think about all the time. She said, I don't feel like I'm pushing against anything anymore. I just feel open. That is what healing below the surface feels like a lot of the time. Sometimes it feels like a breakthrough, a release, but oftentimes it's this inner stillness. So if you are someone who has been doing the work, genuinely doing the work, and it still feels like something is in the way, I want you to know that you have not failed at healing. You have just been working at the level of the leaves when what needs attention is the roots. Because the problem was never that you didn't understand yourself well enough. The problem was where you were doing the work. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I know exactly why I'm like this, and then doing it anyways? Tell me in the comments, because I think more people are living inside that gap that any of us care to admit.